And today we are doing a bit of a mic check. We want to know, are you okay? This
Yeah,
is
how
your
is everyone doing?
quarantine. Yes, this is your quarantine check-in. So, got to check in on you, see how you're doing.
Yeah, Dr. Pam, how you doing over there?
I am doing great. I'm doing really well.
Good, good. Same
Yes,
here.
how about you?
Locked in, doing great. Locked in, adhering to the rules. Have actually enjoying my time at home with my family.
Yes, 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 so am I. And I think it's an incredible blessing to be able to do that, particularly when the family is healthy and intact. So, some of the things
Yes.
we might talk about is what happens when they're not and y'all are all stuck behind,
Yeah.
the four
Right.
walls of the house. Yeah. One of the things that I think I've noticed and that we can really definitely talk about is how we perceive what we make of this whole experience. Because for some people, I know you said locked in, but you didn't necessarily mean it in a negative way. But some people say
No.
locked in like they on house arrest.
Right. Yeah, like they're in prison. Yeah,
Yes,
it's been other torture for some people I
it,
saw.
it
Um,
has.
yes,
Yeah,
even especially those with little children and homeschooling.
right.
I'm seeing a lot of horror stories being told about this homeschooling.
Right,
And
right. And
so,
add to
yeah,
that, if the children have different kinds of behavioral challenges or so forth,
absolutely.
that can make it challenging. So while this has been pretty much a positive experience for Robert and I, we thought it would be a good idea to check in on you because everybody is not having that same experience. So
Yeah.
let's talk about what we can do to make that a better experience.
Yeah,
Right,
that sounds good because we have to be in the house. So let's make it something that when we walk out the home, it's still a home.
right,
Um, you know what I mean? And it's not something you're running out of and now you're making really bad decisions because
right,
you had the
right.
first time out your house.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So we've got all kinds of things to talk about today. We're going to be looking at why some people are choosing not to go home. I mean, not to stay home. We're going to be looking at the 8 stages of coping that I think is happening throughout this country. It's like if
Yeah.
our nation as a whole is going through those stages, and then lessons from solitary confinement from somebody who is behind bars and gives
Wow.
us some tips in terms of how we can handle being at home. So we've got a lot to cover today. It's going to be a great show. Even if you're tired of talking about the coronavirus, tune in because there is so
Tune in.
much to be learned today. So stay with us, get involved, chat with us on social media, and we will be right back on the live
All right.
exchange. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on it
I'm
now.
looking at it. Um,
It looks like an image sign is
I wonder if I can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Welcome back to the live exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela.
And I'm Robert Pierce.
And today we are talking about, we're doing a check-in with you. We're doing
Yeah,
a
checking in.
quarantine check-in. Now,
Yes.
I get that everybody's not quarantined, so to speak. You know, there are some counties and some cities that are not doing this, but I know that in Georgia, as of last night at midnight or yesterday at midnight,
Yes.
they
Friday night.
declared, yeah, so for several major counties, Gwinnett County, DeKalb County, Fulton County, I believe, might have already been on it, but
Yeah,
they're
Fulton
definitely
County been
now.
on it. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then the city of
Hmm.
Atlanta. So in Georgia, at least, there has been just kind of a movement to shut
Yeah.
down
Just
the
lock it
counties.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what are your thoughts about that, Robert? How are you feeling about the decisions that the state is making and the counties,
I
really?
I wish they would have made the decision a week or two ago.
Yeah,
I believe the curve could have been, knocked down significantly. If at the beginning it was like, hey, let's just do this now, you know what I mean? But
right.
I understand why there were so many factors in not doing it. I get why they kind of phased it out. If you notice, we went into the lockdown after the announcement came from the White House that the bill was passed. Um,
Yes.
and that I believe that was very strategic,
Yeah.
so that there would be no panic to make sure, okay, I got at least some money coming before this happens. And so,
Right.
but
Right.
I'm all for it. I encourage everyone, please just stay home. I'm still troubled by the pictures I see of people not taking this seriously,
Yeah.
and you're putting people at risk. And
Right.
let's just not do that.
Absolutely. We are being asked one time in our lives. Well, maybe hopefully it'll be one time in our lives.
Yeah, yeah,
Just to step back and chill out and just let this thing play out. And so to me, that's not a difficult request. From the standpoint of sacrificing restaurants, and I get that it's difficult if we're talking about your job. Um,
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
if we're talking about I can't go out and have a drink, or I can't,
Yeah.
just it's okay.
I
It will
can't
be
go
okay.
to the day party next Saturday. Come
Right,
on, we
right.
okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
um, just to give a quick update of what's been going on in terms of the spread is right now we're looking at 718,000 cases throughout the world.
Wow.
Of those, we have 33,000 that have deceased as a result. We have 26,000 serious cases that are currently
Hmm.
documented. And of the recovered, we have 155,847 recovered. So
Awesome. Amen. That's
recoveries
wonderful.
are happening, yes. And
Yeah.
in the United States, we're looking at 137,000 that have been confirmed. And just today, that number went up by 15,000.
Yeah. You
So
you see, because we're out, we're still in the street, and I get it. It's the weather's breaking all across the country.
it's
It was in the
beautiful.
80s. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
I get it,
Stay
but
in your on your street, and just it's
yeah,
I
stay in
I've
the
got
backyard. Go in the
yeah, I
backyard.
mean, I've got this one neighbor that I've learned when I try to go out and walk, he likes to walk up on me and
Oh
back
boy.
up,
Yeah.
and so he hasn't been able to get too close yet, but I don't, He doesn't.
Right.
It's not registering.
Yeah. See, and that's why I don't even play that game. I walk out my backyard and I stay in my space.
Yeah,
Because
that's
again,
even.
my attitude is I'm treating like I have it. I don't want to infect anyone, so everyone stay
Hmm.
away from me.
And that's what
I
they
guess
recommend.
yeah, and so that's my tactic. And so if you don't live in this house, stay away, please.
Right.
Yeah, it's all
I think
good.
that's great. And
Yeah,
we all have our own different coping mechanisms, and as long as we're staying safe. One of the houses that I pass by when I do my little walks every day, they turn their driveway into a gym. They've got weights.
yeah,
They've got the family is doing squats, push-ups. And I love it every
yeah,
time I pass
yeah.
by.
My neighbor across the street last night, they opened their garage and they looked like they cleaned out their garage, and they had seats out there, music, and the family was playing. They had
I love
had
it.
the little grill going, and it was like
There
wonderful.
you go. There you go.
And like keep your music going all night. No one has to go anywhere. You're okay. You
Right,
know.
right. Yeah,
And
and I've been smelling different types of scents of what people have been possibly smoking.
oh yeah,
people
yeah, yeah. Oh
people
yeah, a
have been
lot of that's
finding
been
their
going on.
way.
Yeah.
One year for the summer.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so yeah, so it was, do what you got to do, keep it safe, keep it
Keep it
legal. It's
safe
legal in many states. So,
in many states,
but
right?
yeah. But when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about what it's looking like in terms of people who are just not filling this hole. I'm just not going to do it. CNN did an
Yeah,
excellent report about that, so we're going to talk a little bit about why people aren't listening. So stay with
yeah.
us.
That's important. We'll be back.
You know what I'm looking forward towards? Like the documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, the documentary that like comes from this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to see what they're gonna put out, or the TLCs. I haven't gotten out like came out of my house since the quarantine.
Uh huh.
Oh
Reality show. Yeah.
yeah, like it's
You know
amazing.
what? That we can film that now.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen the brightest day since quarantine. I don't know what life is like anymore. Type
Yeah.
of thing.
Right.
So
I'm so anticipating watching the creative things that comes out of this, and how many things
Yeah.
people are gonna say. Well, I did it while I was in quarantine. Right on my iPhone.
it's gonna be like a
Right.
whole like decade of just like masterpieces created in quarantine.
Yeah.
So when we're gonna be coming back into trending topics. Um, so what, like from there, we're gonna be rolling into trending topics, and then right after that we'll do research.
Okay.
Right. So
I'm hungry. I just ate and I'm hungry.
that's why we talk about this every show.
I'm
Every
getting my
show. Every show.
my metabolism is like I've been exercising like crazy. Would you say, Sean?
So we have trending topics coming up, and he's gonna put you.
Okay. All right. So trending, of course, the only thing that's on the news right now is the coronavirus. That's it.
Yes.
There's
That's it.
nothing else. Yep.
Nothing else to
There's
talk
there's
about.
no murders happening, no scandals happening.
No.
World hunger has ended. It
Right.
is just the
Yeah.
coronavirus.
Right.
Um, but connected to that, Robert sent me a really interesting article this morning that I thought we definitely need to talk about this because he and I had a conversation about this yesterday.
Yesterday.
And
Yeah.
really from the perspective of what's happening in the Black community as we see it, because of course,
Mm-hmm.
me being a Black woman, I have a lot of Black folks on my timeline. So, I see a lot of
Same
things going
here.
on. So
Right.
I don't want to say it's us only, but I'm just, I
No,
know I
not
know
at
what I
all.
see. And the
Hmm.
CNN article really kind of confirms, no, it's not us only, but what's happening is people are just really refusing to stay home during the pandemic. And in fact, it seems that people are even more anxious to get out
To
because
get out, right.
they told that they need to be home.
Hmm.
you know so the article here gives us, I think, 6 reasons to kind of explain why people are struggling to stay home.
Yeah.
And number one is they see it as a way to regain control, so like hoarding toilet paper, just
Hmm.
defying the law. It's a way in a world of chaos to find some semblance of
Of
control.
control, right? Yeah, to control your environment. So you do things contrary, just to say I'm a rebel, just
Yeah.
to say I did it and I made my own decisions.
Right.
It's real.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because we see this with teenagers. That's a
Yes.
natural stage of teenager
Hmm. Yeah.
life. But we have seen this with younger folks. But we've also seen this with people who are by no means young.
Yes,
Um,
it goes across the board. It's no age, no race, no gender.
right.
Everyone, there's a segment of people who just feel like this is the only way they can cope is to do things their way.
Yes. Find a way out.
Unfortunately, many of those ways are putting others in danger.
Yes, as the numbers indicated, 15,000 new cases
Yes,
today alone
yeah,
in the United States. I'm not talking
in United
worldwide.
States,
Yeah.
right?
They don't think it's their problem. So this is number two, and it kind of goes, along with what we were just saying. But some people see this as a distant problem. Like, yeah, it's not really happening in my community. I don't know anybody with it. It's fine.
Right.
And Stephen Taylor, he's a clinical psychologist, and he's the author of Psychology of Pandemics. And he's saying that maybe it's, wishful thinking, that people are downplaying the significance because, like I said, they're not seeing it, they're not feeling
Yeah.
it, it's not
Hmm.
real.
Yeah, they have yet to be personally affected, and until they do, I see many posts on social media, asking, "Has anyone met someone who's had it?" And
Right.
well, I can say yes, absolutely. I know several people who are in the
Yeah,
hospital right now
unfortunately.
because they've contracted, and some are older, some are younger, and
Yeah.
so this is real. Everyone, this is real.
Yeah, and there is a series of posts going around. There's a woman who is collecting posts of fake media um, claims, I guess, of people dying of coronavirus. There's family members who
Hmm.
are saying that is not how my family member died. They were falsely reported, and I'm sure that's happening too.
I'm
I
sure it
I
is
wouldn't doubt that.
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that probably any death that's happening is being assumed to be coronavirus.
Yeah, that's the quick
So
way out, and you don't have
yeah,
to do no autopsy. The coronavirus, let's get them in the ground, and because really they don't have the resources, it's bad reporting, but
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So that's probably definitely a real thing that's happening. In fact, one of the people that's close to me who recently passed away. That's how we were told that he passed away, and we have family members that are coming out saying that is not what happened. So we're all confused. We don't know what's going on. So
wow,
yes, the conspiracy theorists. I don't want to just say, yeah, you guys are crazy. There's always a possibility that there's always some level of truth.
always.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that this is real, and real people are dying.
Yes.
Real
Yes.
people are being affected, and so yeah,
So I don't care if we think the government is trying to do X, Y, and Z to us. In the
right,
meantime, let's stay inside, and
yeah.
then
Let's survive it. Let us
let's
survive it
survive it,
and get
so we
through
can
it.
address the government, right?
Absolutely. That's my thinking. You know,
Yeah.
people say March Madness didn't happen this year, but this is the ultimate March Madness.
Ooh.
Yes.
Whoa. Is it not?
Yeah.
This is yes.
And we're
Yes.
all playing in this game.
Right.
It's
We are all
really
playing.
survive and advance to the next day.
Yes, that is the strategy. That is the game plan, you guys.
Yeah.
The other one is they're numb to it because we just keep hearing about it. This is also being called an infodemic, meaning we are just getting way too much information and inundating ourselves with it.
Yeah. We got a running clock going, a ticker, telling us each
Yeah,
time someone passes. It's
showing
literally
us. Yes,
and so I had to
And it,
disconnect from that. I don't watch the news but one time in the
right.
morning, and then I'm done
Yep.
for the day.
I do the same thing. I do the same. Now, every now and then, I think a couple of days this week I actually was like, whoa, my half hour is up. Wait a minute, it's still on. But I at least try. That's my strategy.
Yeah.
But, even listening to us now, for some people, might be like, look, I can't with this anymore. And,
Mm-hmm.
but it is important to get your information. So whenever you need to get it, it's so important to tune in and get, I guess one of the rare things that we offer is the opportunity to dialogue about it, ask
Yeah.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
People can call in 678-613-5857 or join us on Facebook Live on Sensation Station Network's page
Yeah.
and, ask your questions real time. Tell us how you're doing. We really do want to know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's good to get it out, to talk about it, and you get to say how you feel. It's okay if you're afraid. Let's talk
right,
about it. We can help each other get through this.
right.
I'm sure there's some people, they're locked in their house and they're shivering, panicking. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be that way. But we're here to help.
Yes, there are resources out there,
Yes.
and there were two more. They're thinking individually, so they're just thinking about myself. Watch
Right.
my back, cover my back. Period.
So selfish.
Yeah, yeah. But it
You
is our
know.
culture,
It
and
is. Yeah. It is.
we've got to, today we've got to break from that for a moment so that we
Yeah.
can,
Please.
think about your
Mm-hmm.
neighbors. And then last but not least, they're lonely. They don't stay home because they're lonely and they need to connect with people. They're tempted. One of the articles I skimmed through today said that people are, because the virus just comes and takes people, so to speak, we're even more tempted to go see our family and be around our family and connect with our family. And we've got to find different ways to do that for now.
Yeah, we have to. My grandmother last weekend turned 97 years old.
Oh my
Normally, the
goodness.
family would be there. I was imploring my family, you better not go to her house. She
Yeah.
lives in New York City,
Yeah.
a hot
Oh,
spot.
right. Not
And
yet.
so, not yet. We'll celebrate her,
Yes.
but FaceTime.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, we've definitely got more to cover here. Just kind of looking at how you're doing, talking about
Yeah.
that, and what it's going to take to get people to stay home. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
So this is a trending topic. So when we come back, we'll be getting into the research.
Okay.
Way ahead of you there, Brian.
We got a comment on Facebook here.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
What's the comment? Well, are you want to just talk about it when we come back? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, I could read it. Maybe it's on
Okay.
mine. Yeah, I could read it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably on yours, Robert, because I don't see
Okay.
it on there.
It's probably just on mine.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. But honestly, I think in like times like these where we should just like stop and we should have interviews where we watch like
Wait.
I
Are
was
you
saying
talking to me?
in times like these we should just have like oh here.
I can't hear you.
Oh it's probably really loud. We have the radio. So, yeah.
Right. Can you type it in the
oh I haven't taken the sign language test but, oh.
oops. I didn't mean to go live yet on my
Ah,
Oh, Robert, is the comment you see from Valerie?
Yes.
Okay, I see it too.
Yes, from Valerie. I am not personally affected by it, but I believe it's real. That comment,
Yep,
you see that?
that one. Yeah.
Yes. With the research. Coming back, guys.
All right, welcome back to the live exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela.
And I'm Robert Pierce.
And today we are doing a quarantine check in. We want to know how you're doing. So definitely check
Yes.
in with us and let us know how you're doing. We're doing the research, and then after that, we're going to give you a little bit. Somebody has told us how they're doing. They've given us a comment on Facebook. But first, the research is brought to you by PZ Heads. PZ Heads is a natural hair salon bringing you natural hairstyles, natural products, and guess what? During the quarantine, the products are still available. So you will be able to order your natural hair lemon buttercream and have it sent directly to you. And she is also doing tutorials for people with natural hair who need to know how to maintain it during this time. So definitely go to PZ Heads on Facebook and Instagram to learn more so that you can get in on those videos and definitely get in on those products. So what I'm going to show you today in the research is really it's 8 stages of coping. And this kind of coping is, it's kind of interesting, but it's about how to cope when you've been diagnosed with some kind of illness or disability, something that's debilitating. So, what does that have to do with what we're dealing with, right? Because we're not
Mm-hmm.
all going to be diagnosed, thank God. Um,
Thank God.
However, when I looked at this from the standpoint of our nation being diagnosed with this virus, which we certainly can qualify as that because we are taking all of these precautions to cut it
Yes.
off in places we can cut it off, just as we would with our body when there's something wrong. So if we look at the nation as a body, we are indeed dealing with the diagnosis of a debilitating disease. So when I looked at these 8 stages, I was struck because I see us in this. And
Yes.
I see people in different parts of these stages. And I'm curious to know where people might think we are in general as a nation. And that might be hard to pinpoint because people are in so many different places. But I'm gonna give, and the theory is by Livna and Antonak. And
Okay.
people use this commonly. Um, but so I'll just give you the 8.
Oh,
Number 1 is shock. Like, wait, what? You know?
yeah.
Number 2 is anxiety. So once you realize that, okay, this is what they're telling me, you experience anxiety over what does this actually mean for me? What
Yeah.
is about to change for me? Then we have denial. I think a lot of us are there.
Yes. Yes.
we we
Yeah.
have
This.
the denial. We have depression. And that's why I'm like, I don't know how many of us are there yet. That's why I think we might be stuck in denial. I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have internalized anger. Okay. And
Okay.
then we have externalized hostility. So first the anger was internalized. We're, yelling inside. We're angry. We don't
Yeah.
understand. We're punching walls in our inside. And then number six is externalized hostility. So now we're acting out. Now we're showing
Mm-hmm.
it. Number seven is acknowledgement. So okay, this is real. This is happening. I acknowledge this. And then
Yeah.
number eight is adjustment. And that's the point at which we start making changes and adapting to what we need to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say the eight all at once to
Okay.
see if, there's anything that's jumping out at you that you've seen that's evident.
Yeah, I've seen all these states, but I think as a whole, and of course I'm generalizing. I think we're in the middle of the we're in the denial depression stage now.
Mm,
It's we have a lot of the population in denial. This isn't real. It's not happening. But slowly but surely, as things are being taken away, it's turning into depression for many people.
yeah,
If that makes sense. It's really
I have
I've
seen
seen a
that.
slide, yeah. Just because, and it's going very quickly. This is very quickly. Um, one day, everybody's out. You're okay. The next day, all right, no one can go outside.
Yeah. And it's sudden. When we got
Sudden,
the order here in Gwinnett, it was
yeah,
what, 5 o'clock? And they said
right.
midnight, it's
By
over.
midnight, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
get your affairs in order because you better come out no more.
Right. Right.
Basically, and so it's tough. This is a tough season, but it's one that we can get through, and we're all going to make it through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I had initially said, well, I'm not really seeing the depression, but you're right. Now that you pointed out, yeah, I'm seeing the
yeah,
depression. I'm seeing
yeah,
posts on people's pages saying, I can't tell when it's day or night anymore. I don't know what time it is. My personal life is running into my private life. And,
yeah.
you know,
I watch it on TikTok. Some folk, the realization that they live by themselves has hit them hard right now.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so they've been wanting to take part in all those family challenges that you see on social media, TikTok. But then
Yes.
they're saying, "But I can't do that."
Yeah, yeah. And actually, and people, this is an opportunity to really get up to speed on technology because there are ways to
Hmm.
do that,
Yeah,
and this is the time, reach out. I've seen some posts of some people who are, I guess they're just honest people, but they said, look, if you weren't trying to connect with me before this, don't try to connect with me now. And I'm like,
yeah,
really?
right. But they're by themselves, exactly, and they're by themselves, and so that's where they want to be. Okay, that's fine if that's the way you want to live. It's okay,
Yeah. I'm like,
There's
you
this ain't
know.
the time for that.
solutions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's and I get it. If you're closed off to your circle, then you might want to just get off social media altogether and just create a
yeah.
little
Why get on
family
there?
chat because
Hmm.
this is really the social media has really been a lifeline for people in this time.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
it's kept us connected in so many levels. We can check on one another. We can still stay connected, communicate. Look what we're doing right here.
right,
Why risk
right.
going out when we have the technology and the know-how to do it? So we can come to everyone's living room from our living room.
Right, right, absolutely. Well, what's interesting is, if we look at when we saw the CNN article about, just in general, people not going out. I also have been a
Hmm.
part of a lot of dialogues that just are talking about how the Black community is responding to this. And yesterday, I saw a post from a nurse who is in Mobile, and
Okay.
a highly Black populated part of Mobile, and if not all Mobile, I'm not sure, but anyway, she was talking about just the deaths, people dying
Yeah.
everywhere, people are sick everywhere, and at the same time, I'm seeing people on social media, and I'm specifically talking about my Black people, like, whatever, I'm going out, I'm living my life, I ain't stopping for this ain't real.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the rates go up in these areas, Milwaukee being one of them, where I'm seeing the behavior, I'm seeing the rates go up, and I'm thinking,
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
it's, and the thing is, the cases that are coming up now are likely from 2 weeks ago when they first made contact. So
yes. Hmm. You
yeah.
know, I'm, coming from New York, which is a hot spot right now. I'm terribly frightened. I've seen posts. They transformed the Jacob Javits Center in Manhattan into a mobile hospital.
Hmm.
If you've never been there, you can't relate to what I'm saying. I guess to put it in perspective, here in Atlanta, imagine the Georgia World Congress Center, as big as
Wow.
that building is, to be transformed into a hospital.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
You hear
That's
what I'm
shocking.
saying?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Right. Right. And you know, and I'm stuttering because I'm thinking of what's happening in Spain and Italy, and they're transforming places into morgues,
Yeah,
and we don't want to go. We don't.
right. That's next. Scott,
Yeah.
that's next. That's
Yeah.
next.
So we
And
we have got to not get there.
yeah,
So what one of the conversations that I've been a part of has alluded to the historical fear that Black people have had of, and mistrust, even more so than fear, of the medical industry and the government.
yes.
And this
Oh
is
yeah.
the perfect storm between the medical industry and the government.
And the government. Oh
and
yeah.
and I truly believe that there is a complete connection between the way that Black people are responding, not all Black people, of course,
Right. Absolutely.
and that historical mistrust.
Oh yeah, there's no
Yeah,
doubt about it. We can go from the years back, the medical experiments with
yes,
Tuskegee,
right.
and
And the
so
laws passed by government to
oh
keep us
yeah,
down. Put that together, and we've got to go to a break. So, but we can continue that dialogue. I would love to
yes,
hear your comments on it. But yeah, put those two things together, and you've got a community of people that are like, whatever, So stay
absolutely.
with us.
We'll be back. I lost the other post
Which one?
with from Valerie. It disappeared on me.
It's gone? I think I still have it up.
Okay, but I got another post from someone else.
Okay, I have Valerie's too.
Okay, I got Demetrius Richardson.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it totally went away.
I say what now? Do what? Okay. Okay. Balance challenge break.
So we're coming in to the balance challenge, right? You're gonna have 2 minutes to talk for a balance challenge, right? And then we're going out to break.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Um. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just all right. Hmm. I want to try. I'm trying to elevate this a little bit. Okay. How does that work? Perfect.
Was there a Canva made?
Is it what?
Was there a Canva for this one?
Yeah, it's on my page. Okay.
It's okay. Oh, okay.
All right. So this week's balance challenge is it's based on more content from my book. I have so many jewels in
Awesome.
there, and I'm like, I need to use this stuff.
Yeah, let's go. What you got?
So one of the things that I talk about is how getting over heartbreak is setting goals and working towards those goals and keeping yourself busy with those goals. And I see that
Okay.
very similar to what we're going through now, in terms of being at home. Maybe even if we love it, like Robert and I are good with it, but there's going to
Hmm.
be a time when we're like, okay, now what?
Yeah, enough's enough. Right. Yeah, I
Right?
know that day's coming. Yep.
Yes. So it's good to be prepared. And one of the things that I recommend is setting four goals that are in four specific areas of our lives. So
Okay.
number one, create, and overall what I'm saying is create a mindset agenda for yourself. So the number one goal is create, or have a creative goal. So something that means that you're making something. When last week Robert said that he does music, and as still waiting for him to go live with his music, by the way.
Well, everyone is on, so
Yeah.
I'm enjoying everyone else. I've learned so
And
many people are DJs. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. They're saturating it. But I do love it. I really do.
Oh, me too. I have no
Yeah.
problem, and I'm gonna get on before this is over. I promise.
All right. Yeah, we got to see it. So,
I
but that
promise.
would be
I'm
an
gonna do it.
example of a creative goal.
Yes.
I have a friend who's a musician, and he's every night he's playing his guitar and singing songs, and I love guitar music. We've got people who are writing and telling stories and drawing, and whatever that is, create a goal that's creative. Number two, a professional goal. What can you do
Yes.
to make yourself better professionally during this time? Number three, a physical wellness goal, whatever that is,
Hmm.
jumping jacks, dancing, whatever it is. And then number
Yeah.
four, a spiritual goal. What can you do to get more connected spiritually and stronger? Because that's going to help you big time.
Yes.
So
That's
those are the
awesome.
four, and we can talk about them when we come back. But those are the four goals.
I
We'll be
accept that
back.
challenge. Awesome.
Thank you. I accept too.
You do like what I realized with this like going live stuff is that it's so saturated already.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good.
To the top, and break them a little early.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Mm.
I guess I'm eating dinner twice.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. Welcome back to the live exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela.
And I'm Robert Pierce.
And today we are talking about how you're doing in this quarantine. We're doing a mic check, checking in, check, mic check
Checking
one,
in.
mic check
Yes,
two.
sir. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Make sure
So
everybody's
we
okay.
Yes, yes. And we are encouraging you all to check us out on Facebook Live, on social media. I mean, I'm sorry, on Sensation Station Network page, where you can post your comments and questions and thoughts, your emotions. Where are you on those 8 stages that we just talked about? And Robert, you have a comment. I see one. I'm not sure if you still see the one, and I can read that one, but let's hear the one you see.
Okay, I have the one from Demetrius Richardson. He says, now is the time to start that home based business. And I agree
Yes,
100%.
yes.
It's the perfect time to start your home based business. There's so many ideas you can do
Send
and
them.
really get it going. By the time you go back to work, you may not need to go back to work.
Right, right. Yeah. You know what's amazing is that we are seeing how much we can do without being in the office or without being face to face,
Yeah,
and realizing we can run entire schools and companies and enterprises without face to face. So yes, this is the opportunity to start a business because now we're able to see what we can do.
absolutely. And I'm gonna give somebody a perfect home-based business. This is free. I'm gonna give it to you. There are some parents who found they are very good at homeschooling.
Yes,
They found out they didn't know it, but now you can start a homeschooling consulting business.
yes. And there's going to be other parents who decided, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm not
I'm gonna
sending my
keep
kid back
doing
to
this.
school.
Right.
So those are the parents that are going to be your clients.
Your clients, yeah. That's free.
Yeah,
And you can start that now. You've been doing it, and you can now do it and get tax benefits. Come on now.
that is so good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to give you another one because this is personal for me. I want a
Okay.
dog, but I don't know nothing about dogs.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you happen to be good with dogs and you can do like a dog coaching
Yes. Virtually.
online and
Right.
tell me what the heck I'm supposed to do, I just, that to me, for me, that's, yeah, I need that.
Invaluable. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
it's
yes,
so many other ideas. And so yes, I agree 100%, Demetrius. A home-based business.
it's a
Y'all
great
can get it.
idea.
We can do it. Yeah. I know
Hello,
you can.
hello.
I have 5 of them.
Yes, 5 of them. I don't know how many. I don't know how many I have.
Yeah. I have 5.
I lost track, but it probably is somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Speaking of home, well, I'll speak to that later. But
Okay.
the other comment was from Valerie. Valerie Yelkin in Wisconsin. She's saying she's not personally affected by it. But she's saying, I believe it's real. My daughter and godmother are high risk, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's truly sad that people aren't taking this seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how
Um,
do we balance, Robert, the disappointment or even the judgment we may have about people that aren't taking this seriously with that real fear and real distrust that we have against the government and the world of medicine?
I get the distrust, and it's validated over hundreds of years. We got the
Yeah.
data to say that it's real. However, we have to survive it to be
To
able to
fight it.
deal with it, to fight
Yeah.
with, to fight it.
Yeah.
It does no good to identify it and be angry, but do nothing about it, and contract it, get infected, infect others, and start
Right.
killing people, and then
Yeah.
we can't deal with it because we're gone. You
Yeah.
know, I even get people saying, "Well, I can't because I got to go to work," but you can't work if you're sick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
I understand it. Just get through this.
Right.
Whatever's on the other side, as long as we're in the land of the living, we can fix it.
We can fix it. Fight it, and so we can fix
Yeah.
it. That's a shirt. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and one of the things that I was going to say is that when we look at those 8 stages, and I'll say them again for the people who might have missed it, we have shock, anxiety, denial, depression, internalized anger, externalized hostility, acknowledgement, and adjustment. Um,
No.
and and I think that maybe everybody doesn't go through all of these stages,
No.
but I definitely can see myself, if I look at myself, um, in the stage of adjustment, and that doesn't mean I
Mm-hmm.
won't go back to anger or depression or anything like that at some point. But everything about these last 2 weeks have been about how can I adjust to this? What are we
Yeah.
going to do? How do we fix this? And I think that I was in a stage of adjustment, probably a bit early for some people. I recall having a conversation with a woman at a conference a couple of weeks ago in which I said, look, if people are sick, they need to stay home. And she lashed out at me. This was probably last week in February. That how
Wow.
dare you? How elitist is that of you to tell people they need to stay home? And in my mind, I'm not the problem. The problem is if it's hard for people to stay home, then we need to change
Yeah.
the system that makes it hard for people to stay home. You know?
Absolutely. It just exposed how our society here in the United States is set up. We have been exposed.
Yes.
Capitalism at its highest. You know what I mean? Everybody got to get the dollar, and so we're running so much to get this dollar that we're not having people healthy. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
saying it that way because there's no other way to say it. Stay
Right.
home.
Stay home. And it's not
Yeah.
an elitist view. Yes, yes,
No.
there is a way to be elitist about it.
Right.
If you're like, whatever, I don't care about your circumstances, stay home, figure it out, deal with it. No, it's not on the individual to have to figure it out when we have a
No.
pandemic and a national emergency going on. And so I
Absolutely.
am grateful for the packages that are being released. I think we can do better. Um,
Absolutely.
but I am grateful for the packages that are being released. I know Canada has released where it's $2,000 a month per
Wow.
person. However, they are smaller and there's probably different dynamics, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
we need to continue to do the best that we can for our
Oh yeah.
people to make it
Yes.
possible to stay home.
Yeah, and we'll bounce back. But yeah, just make it so that we can stay home.
Yeah.
Cancel student loans. Just say
Right.
everybody, no one owes anybody anything right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just get
And
through this and start everybody. I know there's so many, but again, these economic repercussions because we set the system up this way to
right.
crash if we don't pour into it like that.
Yeah. 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 I mean, so yes, it's complex. There's no simple answer, but I applaud those who are in leadership who are continually working towards a solution and an answer. Everybody can't
Absolutely.
stay home. That's the
No.
reality. Everybody
Right.
cannot. How do we protect those who still have to go to work?
Yes.
Um, these are questions that have to keep being asked. And look, I don't, even though the tagline of the show is love, politics, intellect, I don't always like to get into the politics, but I will say this.
Yes.
I
Go
have
ahead.
noticed, I've looked at how Cuomo has dealt with this crisis, and I've looked at how your president has dealt with this crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And in the light of this being an election year, even though Cuomo isn't in the running, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm looking at performance and who's outperforming who in this crisis, and I would not be surprised if there becomes a big push for him to run.
Yeah. I was talking with my wife today. I was like, "Where is Bernie and Biden? I
At
haven't heard
home,
from them."
I
Yeah.
mean, as they should be. I'm not trying to be
Absolutely.
funny.
But
I mean, I am, but
then
I'm not.
I'm not seeing them posting and speaking, at this time to say,
Yeah.
hey, come on, guys, let's rally together here. I don't hear from them.
Yeah. Well, we have to go to a break again, but
Okay.
I just needed to put that little nugget out there. I mean, I
No, I'm
have
with
seen
you.
small rumblings of he needs to run for president, but I'm just curious how big this is going to get as he's outperforming
True
the
leaders
others.
lead in time of crisis.
Yes, yes. All right, stay with us. We'll be
We'll be
back.
back.
I saw a post where they were saying that Trump was saying that they were going to possibly put New York on.
Say
Okay.
what now? Put New
I
York
saw a
what?
post where they were saying that they were going to put 2 minutes, and then we're on the top of the hour.
Okay.
Yeah, but was going to put. Trump was saying that they were going to put New Jersey and New York in quarantine, but it was just like that's crazy because New York
Yeah.
and New Jersey have already been in quarantine. So it's just like it's a problem because now they're looking at like the president doesn't even know what's going on in his country, and he's like, I can't say like making false allegations, but he's not like caught up to speed on what's going on, especially in one of the cities that he comes from. You know what I mean? So like, I think that was just crazy for me.
Well, he was mandating something that he did not collaborate with the governors of those states. He was going to mandate nobody can travel to or from there, and he had declared he was going to do that, and the governors were like, "No, that's the equivalent to an act of war."
Right.
I'm like, they were that bold. They said that, and he pulled back. He rescinded, um, which is interesting. But the last thing I heard is the CDC put that back in place. So I'm not sure where we are on that, but I,
But people
I
can't.
was like, wow, Cuomo
Yeah,
got him to back off.
I'm watching it closely. I got all my family's up there. Father in New Jersey, mother, everybody else in New York. So it's I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. But I'm saying Cuomo,
yeah.
he's looking kind of good right
He's
now.
looking good. He's looking good.
He kind of like when he does his when he like he addresses the media, it's that almost like when like FDR was doing his fireside chats, and he was just like, "We're all in this together. Don't worry,
Right.
guys. Like, I'm
Hmm.
as worried as you are. You know what I mean?" And then like
Yeah. I don't
so,
think I don't know if he's intentionally trying to position himself, but he is definitely positioning himself.
Yeah, and
So,
maybe not for this one, but for in 4 years,
well, we need
he
him for
may.
this one.
Yeah, he may throw his head, name in the
go
hat.
back in 30 seconds, guys.
Right.
Top of the hour.
Okay.
Okay. You know something that you have.
Okay, I got another comment.
You got one, you said?
Yeah, too. It's weird. All right, welcome to the second half of the live exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela.
And I'm Robert Pierce.
And today we are looking at really checking in with you. How are you
Yeah,
doing with this quarantine? A lot of us are quarantined. A lot of us are still having to go to work, and others are like, yeah, whatever, you know.
yeah, yeah. So if y'all could do this, if you're watching us, check in on Facebook with us. Just let us know you're okay. Where
Yes.
you from and you're okay. That's all we want
Yeah.
to see.
And if you're
Let
not
us know.
okay, tell us,
Yeah, and if you're not okay,
just let
tell
us,
us.
yeah, let us
Yeah,
know. We can definitely see what kind of resources are out there, what you might need.
absolutely.
We did hear
Oh
from
yeah.
Trish Williams, and she's saying she's doing well. And she is also mentioning from earlier in our conversation, she's saying she agrees. that we are reluctant, and I think we were talking about the African American community at the point.
Yes.
We're
Hmm.
reluctant to buy in because of the dollars.
Yeah.
There are financial, I guess,
Oh yeah.
ramifications. You know,
Yeah. There is. And it's real. Um, some of these collectors, they're not going to give anyone any slack. They're going to want their money.
yeah,
That's the reality of it. Some people may get evicted, but we have to survive it.
yeah,
And I'm going to keep saying it. We have to survive it.
right.
No matter what happens on the other side, as long as you have breath in your body,
Hmm.
you can and will recover.
Right,
But stay home, protect yourself. Don't be reckless because you're in a desperate situation.
right. Yeah, and there's definitely the plus side, to all this. There's some really interesting, creative things that are happening.
Yes.
Dating. I don't know if you've been hearing, um, but the
Dating.
dating. Yeah, so it's interesting. The dating sites have been like buzzing, and I've heard of at least a couple of dates, and these aren't people who are like in relationships and already know each other, but like first
Right.
dates where they've met online, and the one person, in both cases, it's been the guy. I know people are always like, why does he have to pay? In both cases, it's been the guy where he has ordered food for her, have it delivered to her house, and they will have a date and they will get on FaceTime and
I
eat
love it.
together and talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
I love it. Why not? Yeah.
love it. And so,
Awesome.
and I've had a couple of movie date nights, and that's been really fun. And I've done that with some of my cousin and I used to do that a lot too. So there's
Hmm.
so many things that we can do creatively, and so if we start thinking from the can do, what's possible,
Right.
it's we'll just keep coming up with these great ideas. It could be endless.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you said it so eloquently. Let's not focus on what we can't do. Let's focus on what we can do.
Right.
It's time to spend time with your family. Get to know that teenager, that terrorist in your house. Get to know them. Find out. You may learn something.
Right. I had to do a TikTok this week, which was awful. I'm awful. I'm awful.
My daughter every day has been trying to get me to do a TikTok. I refuse, but I know it's coming. I know
You got to
it's
do
coming. Yeah,
it.
I know it's
And you got
coming,
to
but I'm
post
holding
it.
out. Yeah, and I got to be good at it too.
Yeah, no, you don't, because I was terrible.
No, I got to be good at it.
But
And so,
so there's so many good things coming out of this. And today again being church Sunday, a lot of church services, and once again I got to attend about 3 different services, and I really can't church
yeah,
hop on Sundays because by the time you're done with one church,
right.
it's home, sleep, rest. But I literally got to go from one service to the next today, which for me I love because I was able to hear 3 different messages, 3 different perspectives. So
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Even for myself, I got to stream into a church that I used to attend in New Jersey, that
nice.
I'd never been able to do because I'm always, at church working, and so it was just good. And I'm sitting there, and they did a old service. They didn't even have a new service. They put an old service on, and
Ah,
so I was looking and like, oh, this sister or brother so and so. I remember them. I remember them. So it was cool. And
see,
then I started hitting people on Facebook. Hey, I just saw you. You know what I
I
mean? It
love
was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
And
And
that's the
so,
thing, and that's another way of being innovative. Perhaps the church isn't ready to do live broadcasts quite yet, but they can
right.
post old messages on
Yeah.
Sundays and let people
On
come in and
Sunday.
listen. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
brilliant. One of the
And
things
so,
that we were talking earlier about having your own business, this is a good time to start your own business. And one of the things that I'm so grateful for is that our business with the Academy of Creative Coaching has already
yes.
got an online platform. And so the benefit is we've been able to just kind of keep moving. And I want to do a shout out really quickly to our graduating class who just graduated today. They were our
Shout
Denver
out.
cohort.
Wow.
Congratulations
Congratulations.
to our new certified coaches. And we have not
Yeah.
missed a beat. And next week is Boston. and that will be online as well. So now, because it's in Boston and it's online, you don't have to be in Boston. You can be
You don't
anywhere
have
in
to
the
be in
world
Boston.
and join
Yeah.
them. So yes, so congratulations to our newest class of
Yes.
graduates.
Congratulations. That's
Yes.
amazing. Wow.
So
Wow.
we will be back. We've got some research for you and another balance challenge. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay. We don't do it on this half.
No, no, no trending topics. Just open talk, guys. No
Yeah, we
trending
don't do the
topics.
second.
Open
We don't
talk.
do a second trending topics. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. What's it?
All right. Coming into open talk, guys.
All right. Welcome back to the live exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela.
And I'm Robert Pierce.
And we are here just talking about how you are doing, checking in with you on this
Yes. Check in.
quarantine Sunday.
Oh yeah. Beautiful
So,
day out.
it is beautiful outside. It is
It
beautiful. And
is.
earlier, Robert and I were talking about some of our coaching strategies and not our coaching, our coping
Coping
strategies and
strategy.
kind of what we're doing to kind of just keep ourselves going. And I know for me, it's definitely mixing it up. I can't just do one thing for a long period of time. If I'm going to be working, I need to break it up, get up, walk, get something to
Yeah.
eat, do something,
Yeah,
you know,
I've kind of set a schedule for myself.
that's
I've
good.
gotten up in the morning, set an alarm clock really because I need to get up at a certain time to get my day going, and kind of scheduling it out. And what I did yesterday was, which was Saturday, I did nothing because it was Saturday,
It was Saturday.
and I
And I
gave my
bet
day.
some people forgot that.
Yeah, I gave myself a day off.
Yeah. Yes, that's so important. I'm willing to bet that people treated yesterday like another weekday because it just
Yeah,
there's no I guess break, no difference. It doesn't feel different
right.
anymore.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so on Saturday I watched Netflix. I played Uno with the family. I didn't win one game. That made me mad, but it's okay. We did some stuff in the garage. We did a Saturday day, which you do on
Yes.
Saturday instead of, continually to try to push out content and everything else, try to
Right.
maintain these businesses. I took a day off. Whereas
Yes.
if it was normal circumstances, I wouldn't have took a day off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I already had a webinar scheduled for yesterday morning, and I said, that is all I'm doing today.
Yeah.
That's it. And I
Hmm.
did my webinar, and then I was done, and it was great, and moved on to actually took my first nap since the 2 weeks that I've been in. I've been in for 2 weeks, even though our county really, said it,
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Hmm.
But it was recommended, that we stay in, that we kind of,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so I've been doing it because it's just there's why not? If I can, my staying in protects the people who have to go out. So
Right.
I'm going to do what
Hmm.
I can. I'm going to do my part, and to the
Absolutely.
greatest extent possible. So what's interesting is that one of the things I found was an article about an inmate who was giving us some advice about how to deal with confinement. So he says that he spent 27 years in solitary confinement, which
Whoa.
that is a whole other show because to me that
Yes.
is just inhumane to put somebody through that.
Torture. Right.
Yeah, I mean beyond yeah. So
Hmm.
so that aside, just letting that kind of sit for a minute, but he spent 27 years in solitary confinement, and here are some tips that he gave in terms of how to make the best use of time alone.
Okay.
And when you're in a situation like that, you have got to train your mind and put it in a place of survival because you really could lose your mind, in a situation like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, so his name is Keith Lamar, and he survived solitary confinement in a supermax prison in Ohio. He was isolated for 23 hours a day in a space that was the size of a bathroom. Can you even
Wow.
imagine?
Whoa.
Um,
Mm.
so he talks about what he did, and I was waiting for like all these like super deep strategies and these well thought out
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this, and it's not hard, it's not complicated. I think the
Huh.
most complicated part is the discipline and keeping your
Yeah.
mind going. But reading was it for
Reading.
him. Reading and music. So he, to the extent that he was able to, it was really a lot of creative stuff. So because that's not it. It was music, reading, painting, working out, doing yoga, and meditating. That's what he did.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say it again:
I
music,
love it. Yeah.
reading, painting, working out, yoga, and meditating.
Hmm. Mind,
27
body, and
years of that
soul.
in a space that's the size of a bathroom.
Yeah. He addressed his mind, body, and soul with
Yes,
those things. Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. Reading is an amazing thing. If you can learn to read, and learn to appreciate reading, it could take
Yeah,
you anywhere in the world, and
absolutely.
take you away from, what you're going through. There's so many material. You can pick what you want to read, what you enjoy to read, whether
Right.
it's fantasy, whatever it is, you can pick it. But it's a wonderful escape. And
Yeah.
music, we've seen the effect on music just on social media. Um,
Healing.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we've seen it. And so, yes, we've got to go to a break, but this is one of the things that, take it in. Like, think about
Yes.
being in a space the size of a bathroom for 27 years. You
Yes.
guys, we could do this. We
Hmm.
can do this.
Oh
So,
yeah.
all right. Well, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna look at some more strategies as well as a balanced challenge, and got lots for you. So stay with us.
We'll be back. 27 years.
Right. Did you
27 years.
explain why he was in solitary confinement for 27 years?
Murder. Murder. Well, I don't know why he was in solitary for
Oh,
27 years. He didn't mention that part, but he was in jail. He was in prison for murder.
No.
So I'm not sure what got him into solitary, but honestly, it doesn't take much. They can look at a guard wrong and they're in
Yeah,
solitary.
you get one fight, you can go to solitary.
Yeah.
But like, you think you have to do something brutal for like 27 years. Like,
You said what?
for 27 years, it's like, what do you do? Like,
Yeah, there are some guys who are on life sentences and they're solitary confinement because they've been deemed to be monsters.
And then I guess they either go crazy in terms of what they do, they
Yeah.
go crazy in that time, or
Hmm.
they have to be absolutely deliberate about keeping
Or
their
they
mind
become
active.
geniuses and
Or they be
they get Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Prize winners
right, and that's what I'm
because they.
saying. Either that or they have to be deliberate about
Yeah,
being active. And so this guy wrote a book while he was in,
yeah,
solitary confinement.
yeah. I've seen that time and time again. They write books. They do so much,
Hmm.
and like I said, there's several guys who was on death row, and got Nobel Peace Prizes.
Hmm.
The Nobel, what you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? What's that?
Nobel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nobel Prize.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
so we,
That was what I was trying to think of. I said balance challenge. I meant research. Ah,
so when we come back to the research, do a call to action. We pushing people to comment on the live as well.
okay. Oh, all right. I see a few people have. Oh, I was going to shout out somebody who I saw come on here, but he left.
Hmm.
Oh. All right. Oh, so are we? I
Yeah.
hear the music.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wait, maybe it's a little off for me. But the science for today. So the science for today is brought to you by Shalon Willis Beauty Architect. She is the official makeup sponsor for the live exchange. And so she is typically responsible for the look on my face. And actually what I'm wearing are some of the products that she has handed on off to me and taught me a few
Wow.
things. She's doing some tutorials on her page. So since
Yeah.
she is not actually doing the makeup on my face, I am learning and applying. So
Good
you can,
job.
yes. So definitely, let's support our business owners. Let's support
Absolutely.
Shalon. That's Beauty Willis. I'm sorry, a beauty architect on all of the social media outlets. So check her out. So this is really just a continuation of the research that we looked at in the first hour of the show, where we were looking at the eight different stages of how people are adjusting and how we as a nation are adjusting to sort of this national diagnosis, and how we are responding to it.
Yeah.
And again, I'll say the 8 stages are shock, anxiety, denial, depression, internalized anger, externalized hostility, acknowledgement, and then finally adjustment.
Yeah.
So I think we have a ways to go before we get to adjustment. People
Yes.
are adjusting in different ways, but we're not there. We're
Yeah.
still probably in shock.
And people are in each one of these phases. There's
Yes,
people in each one right now. The
right,
externalized hostility, people fighting over toilet paper in Walmart.
right. It's there. It's happening.
It's happening. Yeah,
I'm going to
people
just
getting stabbed.
let the toilet paper go. Don't touch me. Don't
Yeah.
touch me. Um, but the second part of this research that I wanted to talk about is the coping strategies. So, we've got
Okay.
the stages, and it's actually really good to know where you are in the stages, because you can kind of gauge where you want to be and what it's going to take to get
Yeah.
there. So if you're at number one and you're still in shock and number 8 is adjustment, what are the strategies you're going to use to get yourself from shock to adjustment,
To
right?
adjustment.
So
Yes. Yes.
so there's two different types of coping strategies that they talk about. Disengagement coping strategies, So these strategies seek to deal with stressful situations and events through passive, indirect, and even avoidance oriented activities such as denial, wish fulfilling fantasies like, wow, I wish this thing would just
Hmm.
end. Um, Self and other blame. So blaming people, blaming yourself, blaming others. Resorting to substance abuse. Oh my gosh. So I've been joking about wine and stuff a lot, but I've probably had like 2 glasses this whole week. And but what concerns me are my connections who don't have any kind of discipline when it comes to alcohol or coping mechanisms. So yeah, so I'm not sure if we're all doing this in a healthy way. It's okay to have alcohol, but how are you doing this, right? So we've got these disengagement coping strategies, and so this group of coping strategies is also often associated with higher levels of psychological distress, increased negative affectivity. So this is going to have more of a negative impact on you, including difficulties in accepting one's condition and generally poor adaptation to the situation. So um, the other one is engagement coping strategies. And so these are these strategies that involve I'm fully here. I'm not trying to disconnect. I'm trying to be all in and face what's happening. So these strategies refer to coping efforts that diffuse stressful situations through active, direct, and goal oriented activities such as information seeking, problem seeking, and seeking social support. So you're actively trying to find solutions. You may be watching the news, but you're not watching the news to the point where you become disengaged. You're watching the news for information so that you can stay engaged, so that you can be proactive. And then, so this group of coping strategies is commonly linked to higher levels of well-being. And so you have an acceptance of what's going on, and also successful adaptation. So that last phase, which is adjustment, you're able to do that more successfully when you are engaging in more engaging coping strategies as opposed to disengagement. So we lost Robert for a second, and when we get him back, we'll definitely hear what he has to say about this. But I've definitely seen both of these things happening as I check in with my friends and have different conversations with them. And I see the disengagement and I see the engagement. And so when I, notice these things, when I see people post different things, or for the people who live in this house, even if they're kind of tucking away for a little too long, like, okay, what's going on? Let's check in. Let's make sure everybody's okay. Because it is really easy, and this is fertile ground, what's going on in our society right now, for
Yes.
us to just spiral, and people can spiral fast. So I'm not really sure what that
Yes.
signal was,
Can
but
you hear me? I
but
fell
we're gonna
off
go
for a minute.
ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, we're gonna bring Robert into this conversation as well. So stay with us.
Can you hear me?
Rotate your screen, Robert.
It was rotated.
Rotate it again. There we go. Perfect.
Bam. I don't know. I got kicked out. I'm sorry. I don't know what
Really?
happened.
Because he's sideways on social media. He's
It's gonna take
totally sideways.
keep it that way. It's gonna take a minute to like catch up because it lags a little bit.
Oh, I see. Okay, there he looks good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was slow.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Can y'all hear me?
Got it. Don't
Can you hear
listen to
me?
me. I'm not a producer.
Yeah,
I
Robert,
can't
can
hear
you hear?
him.
I can hear you guys. Can y'all hear me?
I can. Yes.
I
Okay.
can't hear him.
Oh, she can't hear me.
Mm-mm.
Rob,
I can't hear
I
him.
hear
No, I don't see
I
him
hear
either.
Vicky.
No.
Robert, exit out and come back.
All right.
Oh. Okay.
Hello.
Good. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you, Vicky.
Dr. Pamela, can you hear?
I can hear you.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
Robert?
No.
Testing 1 1 1 1 1. No. Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Huh? I can't hear anything.
No. Yep.
Yes. No.
Yep.
You can hear me.
No. Dr. Pamela, you try going out and come back in.
Okay.
All right. I can hear something.
Yeah.
I didn't touch anything. It just went bloop. It just froze on me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Robert, you can't hear us, Robert?
I can hear you.
Can you hear Prime?
No, I can't hear Prime. No, and I heard Dr. Pam, but I cannot hear Prime.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, now I can hear Dr. Pam.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So Prime, now, would you take both of them out and then re-swap them back in so we can get them back rotated? Get them rotated back up at the top so they're. No, you just
Nice.
take their images out and then we'll take both of ours out and then place us back in there.
We weren't. I don't think we were at the top in the beginning, were we?
Yeah, you guys were.
Hmm. Oh, okay. But I only hear you, so I don't hear Sean anymore.
Oh no, he just took stuff out of the
Oh,
screen.
yeah. Okay. Who's here?
The wonderful things to make the show go on.
What is that?
All right, then we're back.
All right, can you talk, Victoria?
You guys hear
I'm
me?
here. Can you hear me?
I can hear y'all.
Dr. Pam, can you hear me? I
Dr.
don't think
Pamela,
she can hear me.
I don't think she can
Again,
hear
yeah,
me.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
but you don't hear Robert.
I don't hear anybody else. No.
Wow.
All right,
Oh,
this system is kind of crazy. So you can hear Victoria, but not anybody else.
I don't hear Victoria either. I just hear you.
Yeah, I don't
Just
have
me.
Victoria.
Yeah.
All right, hold up,
sure.
hold up, hold up, hold up. All right. Public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council. If you're looking for that spreadsheet. Hold on. You're in the wrong place. It's the nation's urban internet station, Sensation Station Network.
Use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath.
You guys hear me at all?
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Do you hear each other?
Nope.
I can hear Dr. Pam, but I don't think she can hear me.
This is weird.
All
right.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in
All right. Hold on. Let me text Victoria. Hold on.
Would you
Okay.
like directions? No. Why is Connor having trouble?
Dr. Pam, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
No.
All right. So, Robert, you and Dr. Pam can hear me, right?
Yes.
But I can't hear him.
But you can't hear each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need for you both to log out and then come back in.
Yes, sir.
Potatoes or French fries? No. Russet fingerling. You cold. Why don't you understand me? Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
5 kids with learning and attention issues. This is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues designed to help your child. Understood.
All right.
Brought to you by understood.org. And
So I see you, Dr. Pam. Robert, I see you.
I get it. Life coach, relationship, financial coach.
Do you hear Robert yet?
But you right way. Or at join a cohort.
All right, hold on.
We have instructors like changing curriculum. Go to Academy.
I just went live. I'm going live now. Something fell.
Do you hear her though?
I can't hear anybody.
I hear you.
Uh-oh.
All right, swing your Robert, swing your camera around. And Pam, you still can't hear Robert, right? You guys still can't hear each other, right?
I can hear her. I don't think she can hear me.
So you're the only one that can hear me. So Victoria, you can't hear me? Yeah, this is a weird system here. All right, so this is what we're gonna do.
Because it's gentle on your baby's eyes.
Hold up.
Toys don't have any sharp edges.
You're using your phone, right, Rob?
Yes,
Using
I
your
got
phone.
headphones.
Your phone.
Yes.
Using your phone. Your phone.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Pam, you're using your phone.
Even when he's embarrassed, his friends will say, "You do so much to keep your child safe." But are you using the right car seat for your child? If your child thinks that the right way for the car seat is the seat too big or too small, how do you know?
Using your phone. Using your phone.
Car crashes are leading killer of children ages 1 to 13.
Hold on, let me try something.
Your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. That's
Pam, can you hear me at all?
The right seat.
A message from the National Highway
Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Having trouble finding Connor? Middle school? Would you like directions? No. Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
All right.
No, I'm tired of.
So, Robert, I don't know what's going on. You can hear me though, right?
No, help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized. I think I understand. Finding.
Yeah.
Can
I don't know
you
if you
hear
guys
me?
can
And
hear
just
me.
call me.
I can hear you now.
Sorry, I was trying to
You can hear Pam now?
feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by
All right.
a human guy.
Who can hear me? Can anybody hear me over there?
I wonder how I got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end, him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he's ready to go back home. But it's
Oh, man.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Can anybody hear me?
No, I don't think anybody can hear now.
meet the crafts of life. Young adults have unique determination and experience.
Oh no.
For your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship, they want to
There's no.
look for, but they're exactly who your company is. Sometimes the last.
I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Good lifestyle to learn how to find, cultivate, and train.
All right, look.
Untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Crafts of Life.org.
Can you tell them to call out and call back in?
Hello?
Call back in. Like exit, come back out.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, they can't hear. I'm calling you now. So they can't hear us. They can just see us. So they have to just call in. Just call the phone. I don't know. I mean, it's saying it's on, but I don't know what's going on.
So do you want to just conference call them in?
Yeah, just have them call in. Matter of fact, hold on. That's not gonna work either. Tell them to try it one more time to go ahead and log in and log back out. Because that's the only way I can get them through on this time. I'm playing a crap load of commercial.
All right, I just said that to them. All right, they just exited out.
Jesus Christ. And he got us to that moment of victory. I'm Tony Hunt, and I suck.
But you want to coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way. Or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing experience. Go to
All right, can everybody hear each other?
I can hear you.
I can hear.
Can you hear Robert?
No,
Hello?
I don't
Hello?
see him either.
So what we might have to do is have you guys call in
Okay.
to finish out the show.
Yeah, because right now,
Okay. Peasy is saying she hears us. Okay.
what is, I have to call them.
But I guess if we can't hear each other, we can't. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to call them.
Yeah. Can you hear Prime?
Matter of fact, Victoria, do this.
No.
Go ahead and call them, put them on three-way, and then call me with them on three-way through your phone.
Okay.
All right, do that right now.
All right.
Pamela, they're about to call. We're about to call them through the phone, okay?
Hey, Steve. No good time? No? Okay. Fine. Or D. Helpers find a new boyfriend. I know a great place to be. The internet. Nice, single,
I'm calling you back, Pamela.
Okay.
All right, and I'm about to call Robert.
Sometimes I do the same things over and over.
Yeah, I'm about to call Robert now.
Slowly, I learned how to listen better.
But Dr. Tam stays on screen if she can.
autismspeaks.org/songs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council. Every ugly doll is unique. I'm Moxie. Wait. So close to me, call me Slick Dog. Which is not.
Hey, I'm about to let you guys know.
That's why.
And then now I'm about to call Prime.
Seat for their age and size. That sounds pretty good to me.
All right, calling you now, Prime.
All right.
The right seat. Isn't that right, gibberish cat? Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because.
All right, y'all online.
You make sure his toys don't
Hello?
have any
Hello?
sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot.
Can everybody hear?
When the smoke alarm goes off, you make sure
Robert?
there's a house
Okay.
she wants
All right,
to
come on back in. Just come back to the talk, okay?
Even when he's embarrassed, his friends say,
Hold on.
you do so much to keep your child safe.
And if possible, Dr. Prime, if you'd like to use your computer, so using the link, the Be Live link on your computer.
Time to move your child into the next time.
Well, so type like Pamela.
Crashes are a leading killer of children ages.
No, I think she's frozen now. Everyone's frozen.
Protect your child's future.
Well, like exit out of it and then.
I have to close the screen because she's frozen now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The right seat. That's safercar.gov.
All right.
The right
We're coming back in 30 seconds.
Into
You guys got that? 30 seconds.
all right, Dr. Pamela, if you would like to just if you want to just do a quick research balance challenge, you would just head into open talk.
No, I'm